Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I'm just tuning in tonight to see you all's here, and we're going to see why Dr. Fauci's files, are they on hold? And we got the J6 meeting. Presentation is what they called it rather than a meeting, which is a little bit different from what they've been doing. Hi, Finding Dory. Hi, Bubba. And the question is, why are the files being promised, for 5 days, a week? How long? And they're always being postponed. Hi, Jan. Hi, B-Dog. Hi, Sin. So, the J6 meeting or presentation or whatever you want to call it, it's being put up there, I think, because they felt one of the reasons was that the Fauci files would be coming out and this would be a distraction. Or was it about the JFK information that's been coming out? Very big information on that. Or is it about Kari Lake's situation in Arizona? They had a hearing today and how that turned out. Or did it have something to do with the young lady who gave some more information that was unveiled concerning this island, Island, and who was in the book? And that they have tapes and there were photographs. And even though the redacted to the public is been put in the record of the court, specific names. So there's a lot of reasons why J6 would be going on today. But this is how they did the format. I'll get J6 out of the way before we talk about all the other things I just mentioned, because I think this is the least important. Wouldn't you agree? Of all the things that are being discussed, disclosed, that this is the least important. So we might as well get it taken care of. I want to show you who is the newest victim. The newest victim. Wait, let's see. Let me see. We got a victim testimony. I'll pull that up for you. And what they have, what you see is the young lady reporting there. And the committee has a big movie screen set up for everybody. And as we know, they had an ABC producer put things together along with Nancy Pelosi's daughter. But anyway, this is a sampling of what they consider to be one of the victims of January 6th. And you see the person that's going to present this. It's, I want to just remind people what was said. Nobody walks away from this. Nobody. But anyway, I want you to hear from the victim.
Repeatedly attacked state and local officials who refused to do his bidding, as well as local elections workers who he baselessly accused of fraud. As Ruby Freeman and the testimony of other elections officials so powerfully demonstrated, the people who drew President Trump's ire or were the subject of his lies faced real-world consequences, including public harassment and death threats. Some of these elections workers and officials have been forced to leave their homes. Others have been forced to leave the jobs they loved. Take a listen to Ms. Freeman's story.
Now I won't even introduce myself by my name anymore. I get nervous when I bump into someone I know in the grocery store who says my name. I'm worried about who's listening. I get nervous when I have to give my name for food orders. I'm always concerned of who's around me. I've lost my name and I've lost my reputation.
Now, whose fault is that? But anyway, that is what they're putting out as a victim of Donald Trump's, quote, lies. This person, as you know, was in Georgia and was helping get boxes out from under a table. But anyway, let's just go ahead with this next one here. The chaotic filming of all the terrible things that were going on. And I want to ask you, if you see the person in this film that's coming up, did you ever hear this person be in charge, or that they identified this person that you see pushing a barricade? I'll play it for you.
Another officer unconscious. The sheriff. What sheriff?
I don't want.
Then, of course, they have edited part of his speech, but the person pushing that barricade, I'll play it again. Read the sign that is on the side of that barricade. I'll cut my mic off.
Another officer unconscious. The sheriff. What sheriff?
So I pause to just show you. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what Trump supporters do. They have backpacks and American flags wrapped around their head and a brand new Make America Great hat and a Drain the Swamp sign that they drape over a barricade that they use to ram the doors. And is this person in custody? Is this person been identified? Probably not. Every inch of their body is covered. Every inch. So anyway, I might as well let it play out. So that's the extent of the propaganda that we have been seeing for the J6 committee, and they are, let's see, my screen froze up. Hope I'm coming in okay, folks. But they are spending their evening talking about that, the J6 committee. And guess what? There was no Fauci drop. There was no Dr. Elf drop, I'm supposed to say. I'm not supposed to say that name. I didn't get to say hi to everybody in the chats, but I know you all know that I appreciate you. And if you put something in the chats, remember to put a number in the place of a vowel, like P3DO. See? That's just a reminder for new people. And I know some of the people who have been with me have seen some of the memes I put up. So let me see who all's in the house. Hi, Donna Neff. Hi, Bubba Moore. I already said hi, Bubba. I always say hi a couple times. Debbie Simpson. Kangara, nice to meet you. Nikki, Mike Mazza, Finding Dory. Debbie Gordon, Doc, Jan, Mike Mazza, Jan. Everybody's in tonight. Everybody's rolling in tonight. Brett, how you doing? Sharon, how you? Hang fake 40. Oh, I can't say that. But I'll just act like that was the name. You're from Asia. Hang fake. Ha ha. So anyway, J6, they're thrown out there because there's been a lot coming out. And have you all heard the situation in Arizona? The judge did not dismiss the case. And there was a certain number of pieces of paper that came out of nowhere, like 6 figures worth, that nobody can account for how they got there, where they came from. And it's something they can't defend. But we got to grab information where we can because it's not being reported. And we have the situation with Maxwell. And the young lady says she's got videotape stashed away that she will show if anything happens to her. Nothing's been reported on that mainstream media. I've got more on that I'll put up in a little bit. But they're all focused on Trump, the same cuckoos. And let me see. These are articles that have been going on about Fauci for some time. This is a Sky News Australia calling him a dangerous fraud. That's on YT, Dr. Elf. Then you also have, he conveniently denied recollection of censorship during a deposition, plaintiffs say. And I'll be putting up more stuff as I go along. It's going to jump from subject to subject. But if you recall this particular one, that he denied censorship. Because later on, I have an article right here, I think. He admits his daughter worked for Twitter, and he spoke directly to Schmuckerberg during the deposition. So here we have people. What's that? Suborning perjury? Is that what's called? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. So stuff's piling up and not being reported. He said he had no involvement in redacting sensitive emails. But they are going to try to throw as much confetti in the air as possible because he was publicly told by a sitting U.S. senator that he was considered to be complicit in the deaths of 7 million human beings around the world. That was Rand Paul. That's been said. It's on the record. And it ain't going nowhere. So it's going to start being talked about. So we won't talk about that. We'll talk about January 6th. And also, not only will we have an ABC ABC producer who helped cover up the Jeffrey E. story. And I have a video of a young reporter, young lady, saying that she had everything. I might pull that up and play it. But they made her snuff the case out. Hi, Waking Trillium. How you doing? So now here you've got Nancy Pelosi gets HBO Max documentary by her daughter, Alexandria Pelosi. That's the picture I was looking at when I said looked like Herman Munster's sister. Right there. Ha ha. There we go. Here's a meme for people that are new. Might want to see if that will get you taken down for a week on FB. Or are they backing off on some of that? I don't know. And with this stuff as a background, Dan Scavino posted this picture with no comment. Dan Scavino. What do y'all make of that picture? That's very interesting, don't you think? What a tangled web we weave once we practice to deceive, or somebody getting caught in a web. We're caught in a trap. But anyway, I don't know. Dan Scavino is very deep into this situation with the 17th letter. I know that. Could it be that they had the J6 meeting because the FBI is still trying to withhold records about a young man that we all know who lost his life? So, what have you all heard about JFK coming out in the news? If you listen to just the regular news media, you haven't heard much at all. Roger Stone to Richard Nixon. Who killed John F. Kennedy? Nixon shuddered and told Stone, let me put it this way. Lyndon and I both wanted to be president. The difference was I wasn't willing to KILL for it. There's an eyewitness that spoke to Richard M. Nixon. Of course, nobody ever covered this thing in the mainstream media as much as they did the Tiger King. Maybe it was because they had the J6 meeting today because 5 Antifa members got arrested and charged with domestic terrorism. We've been waiting for those types of charges to come out for years. This was in Georgia. Locals were ambushed and homes were set alight. You don't hear about that in the regular news at all. So anyway, on the JFK thing, what's come out about that Roger Stone statement, and also Fox News has been reporting on the JFK files. And there were a number of pages that were missing out of thousands that were very important. And Tucker Carlson did a great story on that. And as I said, nobody's covering it. But that's CNN covering Twitter rules. They cover what they want. Let me find this one article and see. Oh, here it is. Nobody has said a word about this. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the most courageous newscast in 60 years. The C.I.A.'s murder of my uncle was a successful coup d'etat from which our democracy has never recovered. Not one word in the media about the assassination of a president of the United States. His nephew and a witness who spoke to Richard Nixon both came out and made these statements, and not a peep in the press. But we got the J6 thing going. Anybody reporting on this? Vatican defrocks a pro-life priest for blasphemous communications. This is where I caution people to always look at everybody's faith. Don't paint people with a broad brush. Jews, Muslims, Roman Catholics, any faith, because of the actions of a few. Here you have a brave priest who's been defrocked. Why? For claiming he put up blasphemous social media posts and alleged disobedience to his bishop, but has vowed to continue exposing abortion, Democrats, and the swamp. Okay? So you have brave people. You remember, if some of you have seen that video I put up that got taken down, had the nun in there calling out people by name, calling out people she felt were involved with something counter to the largest religions on the face of the earth, worshiping something else. Here's a video covering that Baphomet mirror at the White House with a so-called Christmas wreath on it. I showed you pictures of that a few days ago. And that nun pointed that stuff out. I don't know what's happened to her, but if they defrocked a priest for pointing out certain things in our government that need to be talked about from a perspective of faith, she's probably going to hear about it. Now, AOC put out a video about, or a movie about climate change, and nobody went to see it. Just like her town halls. But you see that Twitter count there. I don't know if it's too blurry. Oh my goodness, she's got 13.5 million followers. And here's her town hall. So we're seeing, and what's being exposed is, on top of everything else I've discussed, is that Twitter has been infiltrated. What you see is a lie. The votes you see, the followers you see, they're all bots and creations. They're artificial. It's been being run in that way for years. And that's what made me bring up this article that I've had. We've all heard, or most of us have heard about this. It's gotten so serious to the point where Trump, this is Breitbart, suggested termination of the U.S. Constitution is allowable over 2020 Twitter scandal. That he did not say we got to terminate it. He said it's allowable because the public consciousness had been manipulated to the point where this government cannot function properly. And it is being infiltrated by people with different beliefs than ours. I'll put it that way. Not the American spirit. Here you got this young fellow here. I'm sure you all remember him. He tweeted on Elon Musk's account. You can see what he says there. He's thinking what millions and millions of Americans are thinking. I hope it's coming in clear, my voice, and not blurry. I'm trying to stay away from the mic and not get so close. I get myself worked up sometimes. But we all go sometimes about what the feed is. The feed, F-E-E-D, what's being put in front of our faces, like on YT. Attack on the Capitol. J6 committee hearing, Wall Street Journal. Watch live, ABC News. And the average people, or what we call a normie, thank you, Nikki, it's not 5 by 5. What we call a normie doesn't pay attention to anything but what you've seen on the screen. But all these things I'm talking about, JFK, the infiltration of Twitter, the manipulation of Twitter, the criticisms and the information that's being exposed about Fauci, plenty other newsworthy things are totally bypassed. Here's something that I thought you all might like. I got a couple of these True Socials I'm going to go over. Wrap it up. Infamous Let's Go Brandon wrapping paper is selling out like hotcakes. So, yeah, that sends a little message. And little item here on the J6 thing, talking about Christopher Wray. The Right to Bear memes put this up. Ray Epps. So we're going to see what side of the fence Mr. Ray is on. Is he there for a reason? Is he there to document some things? Here we go. I saw somebody mention this earlier in the chats. Elon to stay in as Twitter CEO after counting mail-in votes. Nikki sent that to me, Babylon B. Thank you, Nikki. Ha ha. I mailed mine in. I wanted him to stay. Now, this character, Yoel, nobody in mainstream media has touched it. The one that Elon Musk fired. I was watching a video that was prior to him being fired. He made this quote. This is the guy here, Yoel, the one who made comments I'll go over in a little bit. As Musk perpetuates lack of legitimacy through his impulsive changes and tweet-length pronouncements about platform rules, Twitter is now facing a close scrutiny by both Apple and Google app stores. So here's this young punk who was tweeting out very inappropriate things about young people, and he even did a college thesis on relationships with minors and their teachers. And prior to him getting canned, that's what he had to say about his boss, and he's wondering why he doesn't have a job anymore. And this is not being talked about. Got to talk about J6, don't you know? Right here. I won't say their name because it's one of a couple months ago I would have said dozens. Well, 6 months ago I'd have said dozens. 3 months ago I'd have said hundreds. But I think it's getting to the point of being in the thousands. people who have this type of profile picture that are no longer with us. It's going to get very hard not to notice. So let's just go through a few things here. I got another thing from Babylon Bee. This confused journalist suspended from Twitter even though they didn't do anything wrong, like report on Hunter Biden. A well-known journalist from mainstream media outlets were baffled and outraged by the wake of a flurry of Twitter suspensions despite the fact they did not commit anything egregious. Here we go. Thanking a young lady named Kathy. And she posted the deleted tweet by DJT, which I've said in past broadcasts, that statement he made that it got deleted fit into the requirements of the proclamation that the president is supposed to make prior to instituting or signing the Insurrection Act. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Nikki. So I went over that. I even posted the picture of the actual Insurrection Act and read it page by page. The president is required to make a public proclamation telling the people engaged in acts of insurrection to go home, to retire to their abodes, and be peaceable. And that's exactly what DJT did, and they took his tweet down. And I think that little video right there, if you can get it, I'll get it and get a screenshot of it. I think that's going to be a historical statement in that he was complying with the requirement before you enact the Insurrection Act. Okay? So here it is. Elon Musk and Twitter used Sunday whether he would step down. 57.5 saying yes. So last night I was saying to myself, this is really out of the blue. Why would he do that? And I started thinking about his past relationship with Jack Dorsey. And I started going over some posts. And I pulled a couple up I want you all to look at. One of them, I'll go over this one first. Then I'm going to see if you all know the initials on this next one. But anyway, you can pull these up by just putting in a at Jack. See, it's highlighted in red there. You get a bunch of posts that you can look at that have to do with Jack Dorsey, and you will see how things are lining right up with what's happening today. And these are, a lot of them are 2018. So anyway, this has got a little meme that says, Facebook was created by DAR, and the last two letters is PA, to track a person's entire existence. Are you awake yet? And then you see two articles there to reference. And it says, FB outages today at Jack. Shadow bans lifted. Brackets 24. Legal cover pre-testimony. Twitter denies the current adoption of shadow banning. RE, political viewpoints, etc. No discrimination, etc. Pride ourself. RE, no censorship, etc. Open and transparent, etc. Twitter re-engages shadow banning across entire platform. You've been a bad boy. And in brackets it says NP, Nancy Pelosi. I think that means Nancy Pelosi. So anyway, this was back in 2018, and it is showing that he committed perjury before Congress. He lied to Congress. And in the prior post that I put up, it discussed his meetings with NP, Nancy Pelosi, and also people like Maggie Haberman, that's MH. But this one here I wanted y'all to look at. Maybe somebody can come up with the answer. I wasn't able to think of it tonight. But this one says, at Jack. This is a message to the top row of people. So here's the message. It says, at Jack MZ, of course, I think is Mark Zuckerberg. ES is Edward Snowden. Wouldn't you say? JB is either John Bolton or Jim Baker. Okay. EM, I think, is Elon Musk. I'm a little stumped on SH. If you all could put your thinking caps on as to who SH is, because this is a message directly to these people. And then it says MSM, we know what that means, etc. Do you know that we know all? Do you know that we see all? Do you know that we hear all? Fear the storm. Nobody playing the game gets a free pass. Nobody. Okay, so I'm just, I got them all, I think, except SH. I don't know why my brain is stumped on that one. As I've said many times in the past, there's over 5,000 posts. So if anybody's got an idea, but the reason I pulled this one up to talk about tonight is because this is a message to Jack Dorsey and also Elon Musk. And if you remember, Donald Trump told everybody he would have got down and kissed my shoes for me to give him the money. Do you remember him saying that about Elon Musk? And we've also heard Kash Patel say he is the largest defense contractor. We gave him tens of billions of dollars to do what? To do what? Buy Twitter. That's what. And that's what makes me think that he's going to fall back on Jack Dorsey to be the CEO again. That doesn't mean Elon Musk won't own it. He'll be the chairman of the board. But the chief executive officer can be appointed by Elon Musk and will do what Elon Musk tells him. Now, why do I think it's going to be Jack Dorsey? Or a very strong possibility. I wouldn't, if it's not Jack Dorsey, then, whatever. But it could be somebody else. But it would make sense to be Jack Dorsey, and I'll tell you why. Elon Musk, in the eyes of a lot of these Twitter users, is the new Donald Trump. There you go, B-Dog. Sean Hannity. Melinda said Sean Hannity. Very good. That's good. Awakened Trillium said the same thing. Melinda said Sam Harris. No, I don't know. Sean Hannity, B-Dog. Okay, that makes sense. But this post is whipping whoever the people are in that top row, is whipping them in line. So that tells me Elon Musk needed to be whipped in line back in 2018. That's what makes me think he's going to pass the ball back to Jack Dorsey, who has tried to rehabilitate himself by saying that he was muscled out of control by the intelligence services and by the U.S. government. He said that publicly. Elon Musk said, let me see. Whoops, wrong one. Elon Musk said that it's not just getting a replacement. Let me see. Right here. Right here. Lex Friedman said, let me run Twitter for bet. No salary. I'm all in. Focus on great engineering, blah, blah, blah. Just offering my help. Elon Musk says, you must like pain a lot. One catch. You have to invest your life savings in Twitter, and it has been in the fast lane to bankruptcy since May. Do you still want the job? So he's letting everybody know that it's in financial trouble and they have to invest everything. That's important. I'll get to that in a second. But let me show you a Twitter that nobody pointed out. I haven't heard one person. Guess who contacted Elon Musk? Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden, who the mainstream media has been fawning over. All the rhinos have been fawning over. They made the Jason Bourne movies about him, and he's been on the run. He was not in Russia, but now he is in Russia, and he also took an oath to be a Russian citizen. He pops up out of the blue and says, I take payment in Bitcoin. Namely, he would run the place and get his salary in Bitcoin. And Elon Musk replied, the question is not finding a CEO. The question is finding a CEO who can keep Twitter alive. That brings me back to Jack Dorsey. He's been running it since its inception. He was installed by DAR, and the last two letters is PA, and he got muscled out of control by government actors. He's in trouble. He's been a bad boy. The left loves him. He would have to invest everything he owns because, as we know, Executive Order 13848 says if you're involved in human rights abuses, you forfeit everything you own. I contend that they gave Elon Musk government money through the Department of Defense to acquire Twitter. Elon Musk steps in, straightens it out because he was called out. Then he kicks it back to Jack Dorsey, who the lefties are going to have a hard time bashing, and he's going to take his entire fortune and dump it back into Twitter, and he's going to have to help straighten it out. That's why I'm saying that it may very well come to pass the way I was discussing yesterday, even though my volume was not that great. But does that make sense to you all? Because it's a crime scene, folks. Elon Musk has said that. I showed you this Yoel person, the things he put out. This is more stuff that's come out about him. He was on another site. where he says, I have no idea how to handle following people on Oh Terrific. Overlap with people I follow here? Only people likely to tweet dirty things? And this character gets back. Muscle bear with beard, hot. Muscle bear with beard holding a child, inexplicably hotter. So there's a lot more nastier things that could be put up. But this is the kind of garbage this person was involved in, and this person was running Twitter. A crime scene. And here he is again. I enjoy the kinds of meetings where Googling gay bareback porn is considered academic work. And that's just a little bit of the stuff that's going to be coming out of this creature. So, a lot's going to be coming out. Let me see, I got this one. Might as well put it up. You can read it. This was an early one. This was after Twitter, after Elon Musk, all those names. I guess it was Sean Hannity, but a lot of names were called out. This is afterwards. It says, attempted coup. There's a link there, a Twitter link you can click on if they haven't taken it down. Opens the public door to more serious. The pill must be easy to swallow. The lead in. And that's what I think we're in right now, the lead in. The public must be prepared for what is about to come. The Clinton Foundation. And I believe all those pluses you see past the Clinton Foundation are other entities that are going to be exposed. And that's a lot of pluses. So, yeah, it's going to be very telling as to who steps in as CEO. This is one company, BlackRock, I've talked about in the past. That and one other company. Those two companies run practically 80 to 90% of every business in the United States. They're tied in there somehow or another. This is about 5 days old, I guess. BlackRock says get ready for a recession. Unlike any other, what worked in the past won't work now. Okay? It's getting ready to hit the fan. This is from Wall Street Silver. Everything is fine. Maybe not. Okay? So they're getting into some very deep into some very, I guess I'd say, powerful situations or positions or people. Here's a tweet I just copied. I took a screenshot of it. Somebody copied. My dad told me no Christmas this year because I voted for Biden, and he's spending my present money on gas. WTF. That's not a joke. Haha, that's apparent. Let's see. So anyway, you see why I was, last night I was finding it very important to discuss this situation with the CEO and this sudden shift. Anyway, and I'm not out of base with what others are talking about concerning Musk, because here's something somebody put together. The Washington Post. Now, nobody else has been talking about this. Why would the Washington Post, Newsweek, Media Matters, Vice News, Bloomberg, and then the Washington Post again, Yahoo News, Los Angeles Times, why would they all start bringing up the 17th letter? I mean, I'm pulling this up to show you guys. I'm not just going off on a horse out in the desert yelling stuff from my own mind. I noticed this, and that's what made me start to think, who's he going to put in as CEO, and what has all these news organizations bringing up the 17th letter? All of them. Finding new life in Elon Musk's conspiracy theories. Followers are reading into Elon Musk's white rabbit tweet. And I won't tell you about that white rabbit. A lot of people have said that looks like the chemical symbol for A, and then the other word is chrome. They've said this, they've said that. No. You put in there white rabbits, and it says, who are the white rabbits? Reread Saudi Arabia posts, SA. Reread SA posts. The white rabbits are in Saudi Arabia. I'll get to that in a second. Elon Musk is now promoting, you know what? Elon is Xanon. Community celebrates Elon Musk follow white rabbit tweet. Musk drags Twitter down a dangerous rabbit hole. Elon Musk uses tactic in criticizing former Twitter safety chief. Embracing anti-Fauci. Again, embracing anti-Fauci. So what got them? I didn't start talking about it till they started talking about it. So they had their antennas up. What's this one about? Let me see. Oh, this is when they were making fun of Trump. His announcement was scammy. His announcement was grifty. His announcement was the dumbest thing ever. You know, he sold every one of those cards out in 12 hours, 45,000 of them at $99 a pop. It's done on the blockchain, which is what I understand they're going to do with the dollar. You know how dollars have serial numbers. Forget this cryptocurrency. You're going to have cash in your pocket. I don't know if it's going to have a little flake of gold inside of it that can be seen with the naked eye. I don't know if it's going to, what it's going to be. But cash is king, and cash will always be king. Let me tell you something. If you're living in the Sudan and you have a goat, okay, and what are you going to do? Pull out your cell phone and check your crypto wallet before you go buy some hay for your goat? People have always needed currency, legal tender. So anyway, they're showing how that blockchain works for something like these cards. And we're going to have gold-backed currency. But let me get to this situation here with the white rabbits. If you're interested in that, liberals triggered after Elon Musk spotted a World Cup with Jared Kushner. Who else was he spotted with? Saudi princes. Who was Brittany Griner released to at the airport in exchange for the Merchant of Death? a Saudi prince. I got the video of it. Who is financially backing the Twitter purchase? Saudi government. Who gave Donald Trump a sword dance? Okay, so on and on it goes. But anyway, so I've gone over an hour, folks. I'm going to close out. Well, no, I haven't gone over an hour yet. That's good. Eggman says he thinks the Saudis are white rabbits. Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to the chats, folks. It's hard to do that and keep the train of thought. But you see where I'm going with this. It might not be Elon Musk. What if it is Edward Snowden? You talk about a rabbit hole. But on that one that I put up, it had everybody's name across the top, everybody's initials. And I think that's the team they put together that may have done something wrong in the past, and they have to put on a show, okay? They have to go dark to light. For what? Civilization. For what? For humanity. And in some cases, I don't think Elon Musk, but in some cases, for their very existence, they better play ball. And that's what I think you're seeing here. Elon Musk had no intentions of staying as a CEO. That's right, Bubba. Mr. T said he don't like crypto. So, yeah, Washington Post just laid off how many workers they lay off? A bunch. I won't say it the way the way it's said in the chats, but they've laid off a bunch, and they're laying off a bunch more, and all of them are struggling, and they are going to collapse under the weight of their own illegality. Breaking Big, Kari Lake wins the right. Yeah, I brought that up. That's another thing why they're focusing on J6 is Kari Lake had her hearing today, and it did not get dismissed, and they are going through stuff they do not want to have gone through. All right, I talked about that, Mark B, Arizona. I talked about that, buddy, and that's good you bring back up because I forgot. I wanted to come back to that. That they have put up evidence today that is undeniable, unreported by any mainstream media, that a certain number of pieces of paper popped up out of the ground that nobody can account for, in total contradiction and violation of the Constitution of the state of Arizona. And did you all know that the first governor of Arizona lost their selection in 1917? If you ever look it up, I forgot their name. I got it written down on my notepad, but I don't have it here with me. I have to walk over there and get it. I ain't doing that. But anyway, this governor, the first governor of Arizona, lost the selection, and the opponent was sworn in, and this governor took it to court. And guess what? He won. And the court removed the person that was sworn in as the first governor vacated his victory and swore in the actual first governor of Arizona in 1917. So you can look it up. And what have I said in the past about precedents? Courts go by precedent. Okay, so that's, hey, it happened with the first selection in Arizona. So ain't no problem with it happening now, especially with all this crazy stuff that's going on. Let me see what this article is. This is the young lady that put out more evidence today in court over the island and the very important people that they have footage of. The footage will haunt me for the rest of my life. J.E. Survivor claims she watched tapes, the P3DO file made of his wealthy friends having S3X with a female victim for blackmail, and says she still has copies stashed. So that was happening in court today, so why not have a J6 presentation, right? But anyway, folks, I'm going to go ahead and close out with a tape, a video that will say something about the media. Since we're bringing up all those Washington Post people got fired, but I want you to look at this post here if you want to pull it up yourself. You put in @Jack and you'll see, I don't know, 20 posts maybe, and you can scroll down and find it. Or you could put nobody playing the game in there and this will pop up. Or gets a free pass. Anything like that will pull this post up. And you can look at those initials up there yourself. Is that Jim Baker? Is that John Bolton? Is that really Sean Hannity? I don't know. Because you can put the SH in and look. Maybe it's I might do that. But, when you put everything together, things are happening. Okay? It's beginning to look a lot like I told you so. And I tell you, I'm going to play this short clip because I'll tell you why. Because I want to see how my videos are playing. But I'm going to tell you how every time somebody tells me nothing's happening, how I feel. This is how I feel when somebody tells me nothing's happening. They're getting sick of it. Nothing's happening. This is what I want to do. Right to the moon, Alice. There's things happening. Okay, guys? So anyway, have a little fun listening to this. Because the guy on the right-hand side of the screen is out of a job. And Ted Koppel will tell you why. I hope y'all have a Merry Christmas. And I will be talking to y'all beforehand. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for all my supporters. This video is viewer supported and creator supported only. I don't get anything from YouTube. I appreciate everybody's helping me. I have a Buy Me a Coffee link and a Zelle link in the description. Your help is greatly appreciated. And y'all have a great evening. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
In politics. Money. Donald Trump has been very, very good for baseball. He has been wonderful for the industry. Your boss acknowledged as much a number of months ago during the campaign. Donald Trump, huh?
It was Les Moonves who
Les Moonves also acknowledged it, but so did the head of CNN.
But that means what? If ratings are up, that means what?
The ratings are up. It means you can't do without Donald Trump. You would be lost without Donald Trump.
That is what he says. Ted, you know that's not true.
CNN's ratings would be in the toilet without Donald Trump.
You know that's not true. You're playing for laughs. You've lived through enough presidencies to know
Hold on a
there will be
second,
more
Brian.
presidents.
What were the ratings before Trump and what are the ratings now?
I would say we might be up 20, we might be up 30%, we might be up 40%. If we go back down 40%, that's okay too.
Well, it may not be okay.
Of course it is. Hold on. I reject the premise that these networks are making so much money off of Trump and thus we benefit from it.
Tell me for a moment, if you will, let's get away from CNN then, all right? Sensitive subject. Let's go to MSNBC. Is there a moment of the day when they are not focusing on Donald Trump or some intimately related subject? It is essentially, I know every once in a while. You know, if the number of people who died in Indonesia gets up to 1,000, they'll give it a mention or two. But by and large, the only news that's covered, program after program after program,